Hi everyone. Today I would like to tell you a secret law to this country, but do not dare to mention publicly. I will tell you in the form of a story. At the end of the last century, a boy was born with a treasure, but soon after being discovered by the king of the kingdom. The king found it necessary to make the boy bitter and angry, so that the treasure in his body would grow with age. So the king organized a group of men to spy on the boy and secretly record his every move. Then proceeded to inflict pain and anger on the boy at will, and this stage was dominated by physical torture, and the boy grew up in this hostile and dark environment. But the king was afraid that the boy would one day flee the kingdom. So the king sold and stole, and finally came up with a wicked plan. When the boy was 16 years old, the king found the boy's classmate and asked him to have a conflict with the boy and smashed the boy's hand with a sharp weapon, using the ground around him to plant a psychotical consciousness in his subconscious. The boy went to the hospital after a hand injury and found inflammation in his kidneys. The successive blows made the boy miserable. But that's just the tip of the iceberg in the king's plan. Then the king secretly arranged for his teacher to give him crazy brainwashing every day. Let the boy study very hard. The king secretly ordered the crowd around the boy to inflict various kinds of stimuli on the boy, causing him pain and anger, and finally turning the boy into a mental patient. When he turned 18 years old, the adult boy was forced to leave school and return home, at which point the king's policies changed from physical to mental torture. The king secretly arranged for the grown boy's labor, an old man, to spend his days coughing and spitting on his balcony, while the king secretly paid his wages. The king installed eavesdropping equipment in the adult boy home. The group of people organized by the king monitored the boy every move 24 hours a day, so that an old man could accurately stimulate the adult boy. The adult boy endured many years of constant mental torture from the crowd around him. The adult boy, under various hints from the adult boy clashes with an evil old man, and finally the adult boy was imprisoned in the mental hospital and lost his civil capacity, so that the king could justifiably lock the adult boy to death in this kingdom. A grown boy trying to be himself, who always believed that one day he would get justice and leave this dark and dangerous kingdom. Time flies. The grown boy is nearly 30 years old. He yearned for love, so the grown boy bravely resisted the bandage and imprisonment of the despicable king, and expressed his love to the girls through the internet. This wild kingdom should be publicly condemned, and justice will be on the boy's side. The girls are afraid to give the grown boys a chance because they are afraid for the king's authority. The evil king was terrified that the girls would approach the grown boy and take the treasure he had coveted for so long. The cunning king concocted all sorts of lies to elicit tithes. His people and bribe them into obeying the king's orders to mentally stimulate adult boy. Wait until one day, greedy kings secretly and illegally steal treasure from grown boys